Hi, my name is Sydney Christopherson, and I'm in group 16 for the midterm. I'm having trouble getting a hold of them. One of them responded to me once, the other one I haven't met, so I tried to set up a time and it's due tomorrow, so I thought might as well do my portion of the assignment. So I'm going to share my screen and show my presentation. So thank you. All right, how do I, oh, there we go, sorry. All right. So I'm going to start the presentation with liberal and communitarian theories of succession and self-determination, a case study of Catalonia. That is the title of my portion of the presentation. And my name again is Sydney Christopherson. So to talk about, first I want to talk about the liberal and communitarian theories that Freeman discusses in this article. I wanted to, for my part of the assignment of talking about my personal beliefs in what is the best theory for succession and self-determination, I couldn't really align myself with one, but I felt compelled and I felt like a mix of the liberal theories and the communitarian theories seems to be the best way to go. So my understanding of the liberal theories, specifically the remedial theory, is a national society has to respect the individual's human rights. If it doesn't respect human rights, then those people have the right to go for self-determination or succession because it is not, or secession, I'm sorry, because they're not receiving the human rights that they deserve. And I included on the slide two little quotes from the Freeman article that you can pause and read if you'd like. As far as the communitarian theories go, my understanding was it was the right to self-determination for a whole community, for the communal, it's a communal right. So any community has this right to attempt to secede or self-determinate because they are, they may need it for their social justice and enacting their communal rights within a larger state. And without the combination, there are clear issues with the communitarian theory because there's not a specific ethical boundary for the self-determination as the communal right. So I found mixing the two made the most sense because the liberal theory is all about the individual's rights. So in my own way, I think the individual's rights, the human rights cannot be encroached upon by the state. And if it is, then the communal right is enacted and the people who are living in there, all the individuals living in the community that are affected can use their communal right to attempt to secede together or behind us, behind those individuals. And my case study is Catalonia. In the context of the liberal and communitarian theories of secession and self-determination, Catalonia works incredibly well because Catalonia, the people of the Catalan people living there have experienced a lot of human rights violations and aren't experiencing the fiscal autonomy that they prefer. So just going through the issue of Catalan independence, they are trying really hard for fiscal autonomy or at least more rights or more influence on their specific region because they are a money-making region in Spain and Catalonia is unable to make those decisions. They don't have enough influence in the Spanish government. And so they don't have the right. So the amount that they're providing to the Spanish government, it's not equal to what they're receiving in return. So they do need more fiscal autonomy, or at least they don't necessarily need to secede or self-determinate. A lot of Catalan people don't necessarily want that, but they do want more autonomy, more rights in the government. And they actually are huge EU supporters. So they often, Catalonia is super interested in keeping a really big presence within the the European Union, unlike the rest of Spain. So that's two of those bullet points. The Franco's Spain is one of those violations of human rights that the liberal theory would suggest that they should be allowed to secede or self-determine their state, because under Franco, he attempted to erase the Catalan people's language. He wouldn't let them speak Catalan, which is similar to Spanish. It's like a subset of Spanish, but they couldn't speak Catalan in schools. Their history was being erased. It was disgusting. And so having that history behind it as well could give the community those the liberal theories in needing that individual human rights, and as well as actual human rights violations. This is from an article I found online, but they had held an illegal secession vote for Catalan people, and the political leaders were jailed and they were imprisoned and charged because of their attempt to secede or even hold a right to vote. So that is their political rivals of Spain. Political rivals were jailed unconstitutionally. And so that's a huge human rights violation that the UN has spoken out against. So that is another reason why the liberal theories, as well as the communal theory of giving that community an ability to secede or at least attempt to self-determine their state. And as far as the proposed UN Charter changes, I've thought a lot about this, and I thought the declaration regarding non-self-governing territories. So I wrote out what I believe could be a possible additional article that outlining the right to self-determination. And so I'm going to read exactly what I wrote just so I can get the language right. It's if member state is ethically abusing individual and or community rights within a geographical nation and or a majority vote within a geographical nation feels they can gain better human rights seceding, the member state must allow for majority vote overseen by the United Nations. The member state will then take appropriate action on the recommendation of the United Nations General Assembly following the vote. So basically, just if there's a communal, so everyone has the communal right to have a majority vote of secession or independence from the state or self-determination. And if there's a human rights violation, and it's up to the UN to investigate and oversee it to ensure that it occurs. And after that vote, it's up to the UN General Assembly to ensure that proper recommendation for how are they going to continue this? What is Spain going to do? So in Catalan or in Catalonia, the Catalan people would make the vote, and whatever their vote would be, the General Assembly then takes that, analyzes it, makes the recommendation to Spain on what should be done. And that could mean secession. It could mean incorporating more the Catalan region and giving them more autonomy. So yeah, and thank you so much for listening. And I hope my group members are here. Bye. Oh, I don't know how to escape screen sharing. There we go.